Good evening and welcome, everyone. Hi. When an astounding decision was made by our Supreme Court to decide that no matter whom you love, your marriage will no longer be called anything other than marriage. A couple of weeks ago, we were celebrating, staff and clergy of this church, with thousands of Unitarian Universalists at our annual convention in Portland, and we thought, we need to keep the party going. So we came and we had a wonderful Sunday here in church last Sunday, just filled with celebration and surprise marriage proposals and renewals of vows and all sorts of music and cake. And we thought, we need to keep the party going. And you're here. And we're so glad. We want to welcome you, whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual path. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Dallas. If you are not a part of our congregation, you should know that we believe people experience God in many ways, that all people are worthy of love and justice without exception, and that religion's not about what happens when you die, but rather how we build a just and loving world while we're alive. We want to welcome you to this celebration tonight. And so, in celebration of marriage equality, in celebration of a moment in our country's history that we will remember forever, in celebration of what so many have built for decades to make this a reality, we gather tonight to celebrate. And I invite you to sing with me. We're going to sing Standing on the Side of Love. You'll sing the chorus. The verses will be sung by Rosanna, and we'll have the words on the screen. We'll sing the chorus together first. Alan's going to play it through for us.
Standing on the side of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim, we are standing on the side of love. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide. So every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are standing on the side of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim, we are standing on the side of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are standing on the side of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim, we are standing on the side of love. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are standing on the side of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are standing on the side of love. We are standing on the side of love.
Hi, everyone. My name is Beth Dana. I'm the Minister of Spiritual Life and Community Involvement here at the church. And I wanted to share a little reflection with you all and a story of sorts. So there are those moments in our lives and in the history of our nation for which we have those "where were you then" stories, right? We remember exactly where we were and what we were doing at such a time because it marked a turning point. Some are immense tragedies, but others are victories and moments when joy bursts forth and the arc of the universe bends towards justice. The morning of Friday, June 26th, was such a moment for me, and I suspect for many of you as well. I was in Portland, Oregon, at the Unitarian Universalist General Assembly, a gathering of thousands of Unitarian Universalists around the country. Thousands of people who had been working towards that day and that victory for decades. My roommate, a colleague and a friend from seminary, knocked on the bathroom door as I was getting ready and told me the news. Shouts of glee followed, but I don't think it had really completely sunk in yet what had happened. My wife, Erin, was halfway across the country here in Dallas, closing on the sale of our house that afternoon, wrapping up one chapter of our life together and preparing to move into the next. What a day for such a momentous decision. I called her and she said, "Good morning," as if it were any other morning. She was making pancakes for her parents. And I said, "Have you heard the news?" "No," she said. "Well, guess what the Supreme Court did?" I said. "What?" "They ruled for marriage equality." She exclaimed, "We're married?" "Yes, we're married." "We're married? We're married. We're married." She repeated over and over again. I think her parents figured out what was going on. 3 years ago, last March, Erin and I were married in a ceremony at the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens. Our dear friend Jeff, a minister from Tulsa, officiated. And he acknowledged in the gathering words that day that because our world frequently ostracizes rather than honors the love of for a man, this marital ceremony serves as a prophetic defiance as well as a public affirmation. In a world where love may be offered without commitment and commitments may be made without love, we give thanks for the divine love which inspires the integration and integrity of love and commitment of these two. And hearing these words again reminds me that same-sex couples have been redefining marriage and what it means to be in a committed relationship and a family for a long time. And I think that all married and committed couples have benefited from that. But there has long been a missing piece: equal recognition under the law, which, as you know, has so many ramifications for couples when it comes to families, finances, healthcare, and more. And it has ramifications for our sense of dignity and justice, which is why Erin and I decided, in addition to marrying in Fort Worth, that we would have a legal ceremony in Connecticut at the home of my grandmother, officiated by the same friend who did our Texas wedding. We had a moment of silence in the ceremony right before signing the marriage license to honor the ongoing struggle for justice and to remember those who are denied the civil right of marriage. And on July 14th, we will celebrate our 3-year anniversary of that day. It felt strange, however, to return to our home in Texas, only to be semi-married in the eyes of the state. Every time I had to fill out paperwork and indicate my marital status, I had to stop and think whether my marriage counted in that particular situation. I knew my marriage was valid. I knew I was married, I knew that I loved my wife, and I had made a formal commitment to her not just once, but twice. But I had to stop and think, is this valid here? I don't have to ask myself that question anymore. So today we are celebrating a new day and a new era, when loving couples no longer have to ask themselves if they can be married today, if they can be married in this place, and if their loving commitment is valid, recognized, and equal under the law. The answer to all of these questions is yes. The Supreme Court of the United States has declared that love wins. So let today be a time to continue celebrating, to express our joy that all may share equally in love and marriage. And let it also be a day to recommit ourselves to the ongoing movement for justice for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people, whether it is in sickness or in health, rich or poor, in the workplace or schools, in prisons or in public accommodations. And may this movement also happen in the hearts of our human family. So I want to thank you all for being here, for the work that you have done that has made it possible for us to celebrate today, and for your courage to love and to be loved. So let's keep the party going, shall we? And let's sing again. We're going to sing 131, Love Will Guide Us. It's in the hymnal, or you may know it by heart too. But it's 131 in the gray hymnal.
Just a few words before we party. And really just a few. I said so much on Sunday. I'm so proud of this church. I'm so proud of you all. I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of what we stood for so many years. We were down in front of the city hall 6 years ago marrying people and going into the office of the county clerk and saying, can we get a license? And in acts of civil disobedience being turned away. But we stood there for a while. And now we don't have to do that. And that makes me proud. Our faith has been standing on the side of love because we understand God as love. Our Unitarian and Universalists have been preaching that word for so long. So when we sing in this song, when love will not divide, reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling a vision divine. Fulfilling the vision divine. Because if God is in mutuality, if God is in that deep embrace of one another, then we know God. It doesn't mean others don't know, but sometimes others don't see. And sometimes we don't see. But tonight we do. We look around and we see love. And we see the divine among us. So bless you. Bless all of what we have stood for and all of what we have done and all of what we will do together. I love you. We love you. Amen. Let's party.